What if you discovered that the food sitting in your kitchen right now could not only improve your well-being, but actually reduce the risk of one of the most frightening diseases of our time? More and more scientists are saying that what we eat can create an environment in our bodies where diseases struggle to thrive. We're talking about alkaline foods, simple, accessible, yet incredibly powerful allies for our health. Linda lived a typical life, just like many others. Toast with jam for breakfast, coffee, a bit of sausage and cheese for lunch, and sweet yogurt in the evening. That was until she heard a worrying phrase from her doctor. Your test results need attention. Elevated inflammation markers, acidic pH, constant fatigue, and headaches. The doctors advised her to reconsider her diet. At first, she was skeptical about this advice, but gradually she began to incorporate more of the foods we will discuss today. 3 months later, she returned for a follow-up examination, and everything in her body started to function differently. Her blood pressure stabilized, she lost weight, and most importantly, the feeling of constant internal tension disappeared. She said, "For the first time in years, I feel like my body is on my side." Few people know that most familiar foods, especially processed ones like bread, sugar, cured meats, coffee, and sodas, create an acidic environment in the body. It is in this environment that cells become inflamed, the immune system weakens, and conditions arise that promote the development of chronic diseases, including cancer. Scientists are increasingly stating that cancer is not just about genetics, it's about the environment. This means we have more control over our health than it may seem. Today, we will begin taking steps to support our bodies. When we eat, every food we consume affects our internal acid-base balance. Some foods increase acidity, leading to inflammation and disrupting metabolism, while others promote an alkaline balance, reducing inflammation, cleansing the blood, and supporting the immune system. Alkaline foods nourish the body gently and naturally without overwhelming it with processing. The most remarkable thing is that cancer cells do not survive in such an environment. And I'm excited to share with you detailed information about these alkaline foods. If you don't change your diet, your body can gradually become too acidic. This may manifest as chronic fatigue, inflammation, joint pain, digestive issues, and a weakened immune system, all of which create a favorable environment for serious diseases. However, by incorporating alkaline foods into your diet in a timely manner, you can not only prevent these issues, but also essentially reprogram your metabolism and empower your body to defend itself. Now, let's dive into which foods are considered alkaline, how to incorporate them into your diet without drastic changes, and what happens to your body when you start eating in harmony with natural balance. It's simple, it's delicious, and it works gently, deeply, and without side effects. Please rate how helpful you found this video from 1 to 10, and share it with those you care about. They will appreciate it. Many people are surprised to hear that lemon is one of the most powerful alkaline foods. How can that be? It's sour, you might say. Yes, lemons taste sour, but once they enter the body, they actually help balance the internal environment. Regular consumption of lemon can lower inflammation, improve digestion, and create conditions for cell renewal rather than destruction. This makes lemon an important part of preventing chronic diseases, including cancer. What happens in the body? When we consume lemon, amazing processes take place. Despite its sour taste, during digestion, lemon leaves behind alkaline residues, minerals like potassium, magnesium, and calcium. This reduces overall acidity, decreases inflammation, and enhances nutrient absorption. An alkaline environment is what makes cells more vibrant and internal processes more stable. In such an environment, the immune system operates smoothly, blood becomes more fluid, and inflammatory reactions do not develop. This is precisely what reduces the risk of cell degeneration, including cancerous processes. Here's a story. Martha, 71 years old, had long suffered from frequent inflammations, be it her joints, stomach, or skin. Her blood pH level was low, and her chronic inflammation markers were above normal. On the advice of a nutritionist, she started her mornings with a simple habit: a glass of warm water with lemon juice. No sugar, no additives, just water and lemon. After 2 weeks, she noticed that the heaviness in her body disappeared, her digestion improved, and her skin looked clearer. 2 months later, her inflammatory markers decreased. "I just started my day differently, and my entire week changed," she says, "and you can do the same." Incorporating lemon into your diet is easy. Start with the simplest step. Warm water with lemon first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. It's a gentle way to kickstart your digestion, support your liver, and create an alkaline environment right from the start of the day. You can also add lemon to salad dressings instead of vinegar, herbal teas, soups, and vegetable dishes. If you're sensitive to acidity on your teeth, drink lemon water through a straw and always rinse your mouth with plain water afterward. The key is consistency. Even half a lemon a day can yield noticeable results. And remember, it's those small, sustainable steps that give your body the strength to face bigger challenges. The next foods are just as simple to incorporate. We often underestimate them. Parsley, spinach, arugula, and watercress may seem like mere garnishes or side dishes on our plates. But the truth is, leafy greens are among the most alkaline foods on Earth. They can help the body restore balance, reduce inflammation, nourish cells with essential minerals, and literally cleanse our internal environment. This means they can lower the risks associated with chronic diseases, including cancer. How do greens work? Greens are rich in chlorophyll, a green pigment that is structurally very similar to hemoglobin. It cleanses the blood, oxygenates tissues, and helps eliminate toxins. Additionally, greens contain potassium, magnesium, iron, vitamin K, and folic acid, all necessary for cell repair and protection against mutations. Another important effect is that greens help alkalize the body. In an acidic environment, cancer and inflammation can thrive. In contrast, the alkaline environment supported by greens creates a foundation for health, where immunity is active, metabolism is stable, and inflammatory processes are suppressed at early stages. Here's how greens helped one man. Robert, 75, had long struggled with low energy and excess weight. He used to think that greens weren't real food. However, after a visit to a nutritionist, he agreed to try an experiment: to add at least 1 cup of fresh spinach or other greens to his lunch and dinner every day. Just a month later, he noticed it was easier to get up in the mornings. His blood pressure had normalized, and his bowel movements became regular. After 3 months, he lost 13 pounds and said, "For the first time in a long while, I feel like food isn't weighing me down, but actually helping me." And this at 75 years old. Incorporating greens into your diet is easier than it seems. You don't have to eat them exclusively in the form of salads, though that's great too. You can add greens to your morning omelets, blend them with bananas in smoothies, sauté them with vegetables, sprinkle them on soups, or even place them on a sandwich under a slice of avocado. For an alkaline effect, any dark green leafy vegetables will do: spinach, kale, arugula, green onions, cilantro, and dill. It's best to eat them raw or lightly steamed. And what's most important, make it a part of your daily routine. Not as a diet, but as an act of love for your body. Because your body remembers that greens are not foreign, but a part of you. Another vegetable that we often overlook, even though it's always ready to help us, is the cucumber. Do you agree that the cucumber is one of the simplest and most underrated vegetables in our diet? It seems to have nothing special, no strong flavor, and very few calories. But it's precisely this simplicity that makes it an ideal food for restoring our body's acid-base balance. Cucumbers are made up of 95% structured water, packed with minerals, and act as a gentle detoxifier. They cleanse the body, help maintain the right pH levels, and eliminate excess acidity, which eases the workload on the kidneys, liver, and intestines. What happens to our bodies as we age? With age, our bodies lose the ability to retain fluid in cells, the excretory system becomes less efficient, and metabolism slows down. Cucumbers can gently and effectively replenish this deficit. They contain potassium, silicon, vitamins B and C, and most importantly, they help alkalize the internal environment, reducing the burden on our organs and decreasing inflammation. This is a powerful vegetable. Furthermore, regular consumption of cucumbers can help reduce swelling, eliminate uric acid, which is crucial for those with arthritis and gout, and create a cleaner, more fluid internal environment, thus lowering the risk of cell mutations and DNA disruptions. Here's what happened to a man named Tom, 72 years old, who suffered from severe swelling in his legs, especially during hot weather. His blood pressure was unstable, and he often felt tightness in his body. His doctor suggested increasing his intake of fluids and potassium. Tom started with small steps. He began eating 2 fresh cucumbers a day, one in the morning and one in the evening, seasoned with a little sea salt and dill. Just 10 days later, he noticed a difference. The swelling had decreased, his blood pressure became more stable, and the heaviness in his stomach disappeared. Now he adds cucumbers to every meal and calls it the easiest remedy. Start dancing now. You've already begun helping yourself by simply receiving this information. How to eat a cucumber. To truly benefit from cucumbers as an alkaline ally, eat them fresh, unpeeled, and without vinegar or preservatives. It's best to have them on an empty stomach or as a light snack between meals. You can add them to salads, green smoothies, or chilled soups. They pair wonderfully with lemon, mint, and water, creating both an alkaline drink and support for your kidneys. Cucumbers can also be used externally for the skin, joints, and as compresses. However, consistency is key. Even eating 1 cucumber a day can kickstart the process. The more regular the habit, the deeper the benefits. Another product that we often consider a regular snack, but in reality it's one of our strongest defenders, is nuts and seeds. However, if we dig a little deeper, it becomes clear that certain types, especially pumpkin seeds and almonds, not only provide nourishment, but also alkalize the body, combat inflammation, and give cells energy without causing sugar spikes or putting extra strain on digestion. They are a small but highly concentrated source of strength that helps the body maintain balance, reducing the risk of serious diseases, including cancer. So, what makes them valuable? Pumpkin seeds are rich in magnesium, zinc, omega-3 fatty acids, and plant-based proteins. They help reduce inflammation, support the immune system, and protect cells from oxidative stress. Almonds, on the other hand, provide the body with alkaline minerals such as calcium, potassium, and iron, gently supporting alkaline balance, especially when consumed in their soaked form. These products are especially important during recovery, for chronic fatigue, weakened immunity, and in preventing age-related diseases. They don't overload the body like meat or dairy products, while still providing satiety, energy, and protection. And the best part? They are easily digestible even for those with a slower metabolism. Here's how nuts made a difference for our heroine. Nancy, 73, struggled for a long time with unstable blood sugar levels and a constant craving for sweets. After consulting with a nutritionist, she started replacing her evening snacks with a handful of soaked almonds and pumpkin seeds with a spoonful of nut butter. Just a week later, she noticed that she was waking up feeling more refreshed in the mornings. There were no sugar spikes after meals, and her hunger had become more predictable. After a month, she started adding them to her morning oatmeal and salads. Now, Nancy says, "I finally feel like food is working for me, not against me." How can you get the most benefits? To maximize the benefits, choose unsalted, unroasted seeds and nuts. Soaking almonds overnight makes them easier to digest and activates their enzymes. Pumpkin seeds can be lightly toasted, but avoid frying them. Add them to salads, porridge, mashed potatoes, smoothies, and baked goods. You can also carry a small jar with you so that when hunger strikes, you always have a healthy alternative on hand. The daily recommendation is 15 to 20 almonds, or 1-2 tablespoons of seeds. This isn't a diet, it's a habit. When your body gets used to real food, it stops craving excess. As a result, you'll experience more energy, lightness, and inner clarity. Let's gather all the information together and recap so we can remember it for good. Sometimes the simplest foods turn out to be the most powerful. We've learned that lemon, herbs, cucumber, seeds, and almonds are not just food. They are signals for the body that it's time to bring order, reduce inflammation, and restore breath in every cell. This is a quiet but powerful support on a deep level. When we eat in a way that makes our internal environment alkaline, we help the body become what it was designed to be, a system capable of self-healing. The most important thing is that this doesn't require drastic measures or sacrifices, just attention, patience, and a little love for yourself. Alkaline eating isn't a diet. It's not a trendy fad. It's a return to the natural, to foods that our cells recognize as their own, to products that don't make the body struggle but help it thrive. You can start small, a glass of warm water with lemon in the morning, a handful of greens at lunch, a cucumber as a snack, tea with seeds in the evening. These habits don't require willpower, just intention. And trust me, your body will respond. With gratitude. Within a few days, you'll notice more clarity in your mind, more energy in your movements, and more calmness in your emotions. And after weeks and months, you'll experience a strengthened immune system, gentle digestion, stable blood pressure, and clearer skin. Is it too late to start if I'm already over 70? This question is often heard, and the answer is always the same. It's never too late to give your body a chance. Regardless of age, condition, or diagnosis, every morning is a new opportunity. It's important to remember that alkaline foods don't directly cure cancer. However, they create an environment where the disease cannot thrive. This isn't a medicine. It's the foundation upon which health is built. And it ultimately determines how you will feel tomorrow, next month, or a year from now. If you have chronic illnesses, don't hesitate to talk to your doctor. Most specialists support the idea of a diet aimed at reducing inflammation and promoting the body's natural functions, especially when done thoughtfully and with self-love. Take the first step today. Look at what you have in your kitchen. Choose one ingredient from those we've discussed. Add it to your lunch, dinner, or breakfast. Start listening to your body. It will guide you on what it needs. Also, share this information with those you care about. For someone, your story might be the first step towards healing. When one person starts to take care of themselves, it inspires others. And step by step, this can change not just the body, but also life. Imagine morning. You wake up feeling light, no heaviness, no fatigue. Your body is at peace, your mind is clear. You head to the kitchen and open the window. Take a deep breath, the air is fresh, the day is yours. On the table is simple food, greens, lemon, a few seeds. And you know, you're not struggling, you're living, in harmony with your body, in harmony with nature. Your body doesn't operate on its last reserves. It functions at full capacity like a well-tuned, grateful machine. And this isn't the result of strict diets or pills. It's simply a few easy choices made with love. Because health isn't a battle. It's self-care. It's a rhythm. It's a journey. And on this journey, no matter where you are, you're not alone. You have strength. You have knowledge. And you have products that work quietly but profoundly.